Welcome back, and today in this build I will be making a DIY Hypo syringe from the Bioshock game series. To begin, I got an empty glass bottle with a cork and put that to the side. I then got an empty soda can and began cutting that into a strip. I marked off where I wanted to cut and began cutting that, and once I had that, I folded it in half until I got an even length of what I wanted for the bottle. I then secured this to the bottle using hot glue, and this will be the top part of our bottle. Once that was finished, I got some pencils and measured correctly and began gluing them together. I then wrapped clay around the pencils and made a nice cylinder shape, and then added a metal screw at the end. Here's what it looks like. I then cut a bouncy ball in half and then hot glued that to the side of the bottle. I then secured the top accessory to the bottle. After that was finished, I got two equal sized strips of paper and began to glue that carefully to the bottle. While doing that, I made sure that each was evenly spread apart. For the next step, I got a plastic knife, threw away the top part, and then measured it down according to how big our bottle was. I then used a flame and heated it up until it got a nice bend shape. I then hot glued that to the end of the bottle. This is what we have so far. Once that was finished, I got a piece of clay and molded it around the bottle neck. I then made grooves into the clay to give it a nice bottle cap indentation look. Once that was finished, I did the exact same thing except just a little bit higher on the bottle. The only thing different for this part is I used a lot thinner piece of clay, and same thing goes, I used a chopstick to then make the same bottleneck grooves. I smoothed it out with a chopstick, and this is what we had so far. Once I was finished with that, I used a hot glue gun to reheat the glue that was previously put on the bottle. I then got the top portions and then set those outside while I spray painted them silver. While those were drying, I got painter's tape and put that around the neck of the bottle so we would not get paint anywhere that we didn't want to. And then I went and spray painted that silver as well. Now that I have everything painted silver, it's time to put everything on using our hot glue. I carefully slid that back on and then glued everything back together. It's okay that it has imperfections now because I will then clean that up later. I then put the cork back in the bottle and marked it of where it stopped in the bottle, and then used a razor blade to cut that in half. I then put a nail through it and then secured it with more hot glue at the end, and then sent that to go be painted as well with our silver paint. Now for the label. I began to paint the label using a base of yellow and then using any other details such as the white border with the black outlining. I then did a rough sketch of the bluish apple whatever fruit that is on the bottle and then colored that in as well. I added any bolding that I needed, and any excess paint I was able to scrape off with a razor blade. I then printed up a label of an oven-eve bottle, but didn't like the way the whole paper was on the bottle, so I cut it as close as I possibly can into individual pieces, and I was going to stick down to the bottle. And to stick them on, I added a light coat of more spray paint onto the bottle and let that dry, but not completely. Once it was dry but not completely dry, I then used tweezers to apply the individual pieces of lettering. Any excess paint I scraped off with a napkin, but other than that, we are finished, along with some finishing touches that I added later of adding extra paint. And there we have it. That completes our Bioshock Hypo syringe. And of course you could use any liquid you prefer into the bottle. If you want to add a more opaque look to the bottle, such as in the intro, I added white paint with some blue food color and some water and mix that together and pour that into the bottle. Other than that, if you really want to make it stand out, you can break open a few glow-in-the-dark sticks and pour that into the bottle. Although it's not a lot, if you shake it up and get it around the bottle, it'll still make it glow a nice glow. Other than that, the build is complete. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and if there's any future builds you would like me to make, please comment them down in the comment section below. Thank you again.